Hello and welcome to episode 181 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. Now, today we're talking about behavior. Behavior, and the fact that behavior is a language. Now, excuse me as I cough at you, let me ask you a question. Very professional. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever spoken to somebody about something back and forth, either on the DMs, direct messages, or an email? Yeah, sounds great, James. Back and forth, back and forth. They tell you the price, and then you don't get back to them because it was way more than you thought it was going to be. I know you've done it. I've done it. We've all done it. Interesting, right? Interesting. Behavior is a language. By not replying to people, not getting back to them, you're essentially saying to them, I'm not interested. But you're trying to do it without having to be embarrassed or waste your time or face confrontation or worry about them trying to chase you or whatever. So you think, if I just don't respond, they should get the message. Behavior is a language. Now, when you're selling something, the same is also true. If you've been talking to somebody and then they disappear all of a sudden and you follow them up and they don't really respond to anything anymore, just got to be mindful of that. Now, there's no magic number for follow-up, no definitive number. And we've got to follow up and give it a little bit of a crack. But I think it's pretty obvious after a couple of messages, if people just are not responding, they're not coming back to you, behavior is a language. They're trying to tell you they're not interested, but without actually telling you, if that makes sense. So this kind of goes back to this notion, particularly on emails or DMs, direct messages, of not replying to your own message. So if I've sent you, hey, James, how you doing? Just want to, check if you're okay. And then a few days later, I sent another message. Going, hey, James, are you well? And I'm replying to my message because in the thread of the conversation, it's just me. That's a bit of a red flag for me. Replying to your message is kind of a sign that the person's checked out. They're not interested either at all or now, but your effort and time is probably better spent elsewhere. So remember that behavior is a language, and when people disconnect and they ignore you and they go away, that's their way of trying to tell you they're not interested. And that's why we literally say things like, I hope they get the message. I hope they get the message. So don't be offended if people disappear and ghost you. Happens all the time. Happens to me. Happens to my clients. What can you do? It's just one of those things. That try not to take it personally, but just place your effort into finding more potential buyers, because when you have more potential buyers, there's less pressure. So that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow in episode 182, I'm going to be talking about magicians. Yeah, that's right. Magicians. Weren't expecting that one, were you? So tune in tomorrow and I'll give you a little quick tip, a quick course in magic when it comes to sales and selling. In the meantime, if you want to hop on over to Selling Confidence Score, sellingconfidencescore.com. If you've got 2 minutes, you can answer 20 yes/no questions for free in a quiz and find out exactly how well you're scoring across 4 main areas of selling. It will give you an understanding of what's going well, perhaps what's not going so well, where you can improve, and more importantly, you'll get an action plan tailored to the answers that you've given that will help you to improve your performance. It's completely free with no obligation. So head on over to sellingconfidencescore.com for that. In the meantime, that's it for this episode. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message. Take care.